Okay, people. So today we took a look at The Winter House. This is the new film from Keith Boynton, who wrote and directed. It is produced by Tony Glazer, line produced by Summer Crockett Moore. Michael Ford handled the music. Atia Mendibar, cinematography. Casting was Patricia McCorkle. Production design is Missy DePiero. Art direction is Lars Eileen Lund, with Bethany Kelleher handling costume design. Hair and makeup is Nino Tavakalides. And the cast, we have Lili Taylor as Elaine. Jesse is played by Francisco Arnaud. Paul is played by Hunter Emery. Deborah is played by Beth Fowler. And the shop owner is played by Stephen C. Bradbury. So, AJ may have moved on to higher things, but she hit me up with this film, right? She's still got her toes in the water, hit me up with this film. So, of course, I was going to take a look, right? The synopsis is Elaine is grieving. She needs to get away. She rents a house in a remote corner of New Hampshire in the dead of winter where no one is likely to bother her. But wouldn't you know, someone does. Jesse is a young, impetuous, charismatic, and evasive young man. He claims to be the son of the couple who own the house, but Elaine isn't inclined to believe him. She's a brilliant writer with her own demons and secrets, and she knows a fellow lost soul when she sees one. As winter wears on in the lonely house at the edge of nowhere, Elaine and Jesse try to offer each other salvation, both knowing full well that the opposite is far more likely. So yeah, that's it. And this was really interesting, right? Because I think it starts off and we got Elaine being shown the house, right? And she lets Deborah know her intention. She wants to write. She's looking to be on her own. You know what I mean? Just for that freedom of mind to be able to concentrate and detach from the world. So you think this is going to be this little intimate kind of self-discovery piece, right? Just nothing crazy. And so yeah, that's what it seems. She's getting about a day and boom, there's a noise in the middle of the night, right? She goes downstairs but doesn't take a gun, and we're like, yo, what? And there's the dude. Now, as soon as you see Jesse, because I think a lot of times it's about movement, right? It's about the intentions that you're putting into the world. So something isn't right. Something isn't right. But it's, there's no outward signs of aggression. So we're wondering what all of this is. What all of this is. Now, what we do get from the introduction of Jesse is we get more information on who Elaine is, right? And we also learn a little bit about Jesse, So, yeah, you find out, she was married, as I said, she's grieving. So all of this stuff, she's an author. And she, even though it's kind of sold, she kind of downplays it, but it seems like she's pretty successful, should I say. But we're watching this interplay between these two. Now, a thing I did like, because a lot of times when we have things like this, when someone's like, oh, tell me about it. It's a long story, right? And then they're just like, okay. And then, but in reality, right, if that is you, right, if you are having those conversations, are you really going to let someone palm you off with bullshit? No. But in film, in TV, that is how it always goes. Not here, right? We see people get called out for, just ridiculous statements and things like that. When people try and drop something that clearly isn't true, they get called out. And I thought that was interesting. I liked that aspect of the writing. There's other things that were going on, right? That I think at first I wasn't necessarily convinced by. Just because when you look at, the characters and everything like that, this is a bit like, I mean, would that really? But the more the story goes on, the more events kind of like you see them from a different dimension. As I said, right, this felt like it was more of a little intimate piece. But it's funny how little things can change your perspective, right? Because there's a bit where Jesse reads a poem, reads it twice, right? And just the cadence in which he reads it completely transforms the poem, right? Completely change. It's the cadence and it's just the speed, right? Completely changes it. And that added like something crazy to what we're watching. And then they go for a walk and you get this incredible view. And again, it added this new layer, this new depth to the story, which it might seem crazy, but people, trust me, watch it. And yeah, you get that kind of revelation as you're viewing this, right? And so just through those couple of things, right, it's like we level up. This hidden door appears and you can see more into these characters, right? And in the events that follow, everything that follows, you're with it, right? You buy it more, which I thought was very, very, very interesting. You know, it's again, we still get this writing, and it gets even rawer with revelations and truths that get thrown on us. And I think there is an honesty with this writing, right? It's very interesting from the fact that we often see it in reverse. This story would often be in reverse. Um, and yeah, the ages would be different. Yeah, we don't usually get it kind of this way around. So I think that's intriguing, right? The way this concludes again, right? Because you do wonder, how can this get tied up, right? What's going to happen here? But there is a satisfaction with it. There is definitely a satisfaction with it, right? But you still understand there are a whole heap of secrets that we do not know, because there's something that you see at the very beginning when Elaine is unpacking, which then plays into something that happens at the end, right? But comments were made which kind of go, wait, hold on, So it is a big thing that not everything that says is necessarily a truth, right? Not everything that says necessarily a truth, which is it's realistic, it's life, right? Because how long do these people know each other? Not that long. Not that long. So it's just it's an honest reality that, even though people choose to open up to a degree, are they really going to drop every single piece of themselves on someone? You know what I mean? I thought the acting is really good, and of course it is going to be, right? Lili Taylor. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I just remember High Fidelity and 6 Feet Under. Those are the things that really jump, from those first time seeing Taylor do a thing. And then, Francisco Arnaud, the Borgias, right? Which was a crazy show. So, these people have got good acting chops. Beth Fuller, she's been around. So it's just like, it has the potential on paper, but just because something has the potential on paper doesn't mean it always follows through. But boom, people, this one surely does, which is always a relief, right? It is always really good to know. Because how many times have we been let down? You know what I mean? And yeah, the writing, solid writing, solid writing, the really good, like the camera shots, man. Just some of those views that we get to see, and just yeah, we really do get an intriguing story told to us. An intriguing story told to us, people. Which is fantastic. It is fantastic. It looks great. It plays great. The Winter House is definitely something you will enjoy, right? And oh, yeah, that's the kind of thing. It's just like, because, I mean, watching it, there's so many things that kind of come to mind, but yeah, trying to think of what they are right now off the top of my goddamn head. But it's just those kind of intriguing pieces. You know what? Like, it's not the same at all, but just the Changeling, the Apple TV series, there's some similarities in the fact that you're watching something and there's more there, right? There's more there, but it's kind of wrapped up in just this kind of small tale about people's lives. But under the surface, there's this kind of rippling force waiting to explode. And yeah, I would say, that's a kind of a representation of what this is. But yeah, there's so many of those stories, that we've seen and we've enjoyed. And yet, if you like something that deals with relationships, right? Deals with relationships, but isn't that huge, crazy, explosion filled piece, but it's just that nice kind of look, right? Little tiptoes, but then occasionally some big steps, right? If you like that kind of story, the Winter House will be for you. So, boom, it's available on all VOD. Look, as usual, all the information is on the website. So go check it out, people, because yeah, I think this one is one that you would definitely enjoy.